Be the change you want to see in the world!
Hello everyone. It's wonderful to be here. So today I'm going to share with you an application that I've created when I participate in this year's Imagine Cup competition. This application is called Argora. It is a cross-language web search that can help us discover the World Wide Web beyond our understood language. Why do I name it as Argora? So when you take away the second R in its name, it actually means a place of congregation according to the English dictionary. Similarly, my goal for Argora is to help bring people of different language background together by lowering the language barrier on the web. So how did I come up with this idea? So last year, I was visiting Japan, and once I stepped out of the airport, I could hardly find anyone who can understand English. Hence, every day before I set off for my sightseeing trip, I would have to search the web for places of interest and put together an itinerary. I thought Japanese content might be more informative. Hence, for each search attempt, I would translate my query from English into Japanese, copy and paste it into a search engine, and then do a search. When the results are returned, I'll then translate the page into English again, choose a link, open the link, and translate the page again. And I have to do this for every single search attempt. I mean, well, this may seem fine when you are doing this procedure on laptops or desktops. I mean, I believe most of us are actually doing this right now. But can you imagine if you are using a web browser on a mobile device on the move? I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? It will be ridiculously troublesome to switch between different pages when you are using the smartphones. Hence, I got an inspiration. What if I can come up with a cross-language web search application that can save us from such hassle? So, one of the Millennium Development Goal is to promote global collaborations for developments. So many businesses are interested in investing in developing countries like China, India, and so on. But some are deterred because of language barrier. There are many non-profit organizations in different parts of the world. Many share the same cause despite having different language background. If they were to collaborate together, they might be able to achieve so much more. And also, there are many needy ones in developing countries who do not speak mainstream languages like English. In order to render aid to them, we need to find out what kind of assistance they need. So one common approach would be to search for information on the World Wide Web. So search engines are our gateway to the World Wide Web. Most of them are keyword-based, and hence, if you input your query in English, it's unlikely for you to find non-English foreign information. It is in their native language, which I believe are probably more informative because they are likely to be published by people on the ground. With a cross-language web search, we would be able to find information published in a specific language. We would be able to find out world news from foreign media. We would be able to read blogs and tweets published in foreign languages. We would be able to find out so much more on the World Wide Web. Now, let's check out a live demonstration of Argora's cross-language web search. So the translation on Argora's cross-language web search is powered by Google Translate. When you first visit www.argora.net, the page language will actually be set to your browser's default language. Let's give a while to load the page first. So you may input your query in your preferred language. For instance, the word poverty in English. You may decide whether you want to translate the query or not. If you like to translate the query, you can choose what language you would like your query to be translated to. For instance, Japanese. Then you can choose either Google, Bing, or Yahoo as a search engine. And then you do a search. So when the results are returned, they will be translated into your page language. So if you mouse over any of the results, thank you. Yeah, you can hold the applause for afterwards. So if you hover over any of the result, the original content will pop up beside it. So if you click on the link in the pop-up, it will open the page untranslated. But if you click on the page, on the link on the main page, it will actually open up the page using Google Translate and translate each content into your page language. If you decide to view the page in another language, you may simply change the page language option, and the content on the page will be translated on the fly without having you to refresh the page. Let's try to change it to simplified Chinese. On the extreme left, yeah. So you can see that you actually translate the whole page on the fly. Isn't that cool? So who would want to use a cross-language web search service? So essentially, it will be useful for anyone who would like to search for foreign web content. But it will be particularly useful for the voluntourism industry. With cross-language web search, we would be able to identify which developing countries will need our help more urgently. We would be able to find out more information on the ground even before we are there physically. We may be able to find contacts and establish connections with them, and establish connections with them to further our cause. Other than cross-language web search, so what other kind of feature am I looking forward to? So we know that English may be a lingua franca, but there are also a lot of online users who do not speak English. Hence, I'm looking forward to coming up with a cross-language discussion feature where I will be able to post my question in English, and other users in the world will be able to view and reply to my question in their preferred language. This will be unlike typical Q&A websites, where only users who understand the language of your question will be able to reply to you. So, what is my vision of the future world? So, I want to live in a world where people of different language background will be able to interact easily. I want to live in a world where needy ones will not be deprived of help due to language barrier. Creating Argora is my first step to realize the change I want to see in the world. Let us build a better tomorrow by being the change we want to see in this world. Thank you.